we're all grappling with this issue of tariffs, but I think that there is an understanding, at least I understand, why President Trump wants to address some of the global imbalances there are in the system. Some countries running very large and persistent trade surpluses and, and a need to address that. Britain is not the cause of those problems. With the US, we have balanced trade, neither a surplus nor a deficit. That's why I sort of think that there is a deal there to be done with the US, but I think it is important that we understand why the US are doing what they're doing. They were elected on a change mandate last year. The UK Labour government was elected on a change mandate last year. In both of our countries, many working people felt that the economy was not working for them, and both of our governments, in our own ways, are trying to address that.
Maybe if the rest of the G7 at this point said, we don't accept the 10% universal tariff on a collective basis. We don't want to do this. No one wants this. It's time for this all to go. That would be the right strategy rather than trying to carve off a side deal for the UK.
Well, look, I want to see other countries as well be successful in reducing trade barriers. This is certainly not an either or. We won't celebrate if the UK gets a deal, but other countries are still impacted because, of course, that has a knock-on effect on global demand and global inflation. And as an open trading economy, we're hit by global tariffs, not just tariffs on the UK. But, our role is to try and secure the best possible deal for British industry and British jobs. But look, I don't think that the idea that you're sort of suggesting that we should try and escalate this is the right one.
Would it be escalation? It would be response
no,
to
no,
it'd be response to extraordinary
but
idea from the
Faisal,
Americans.
as good as well as I do, that if we were to respond by increasing tariffs, that would result in a greater suppression of global demand. That would put greater upward pressure on inflation at the time we're trying to reduce inflation and go for growth.
What about Britain's place in the world? Does this mean is there an opportunity here for Britain to be this?
It's a massive opportunity.
Oh right, okay.
Massive
in the turmoil.
A massive opportunity because what Britain is able to offer today is political and financial, including fiscal, stability. And actually a lot of that stability is in short order around the world at the moment. I understand why there's so much focus on our trading relationship with the US, but actually our trading relationship with Europe is arguably even more important because they're our nearest neighbours and trading partners. And next month there will be a summit between the UK and the EU, building on the work that Keir Starmer and others, including myself, have done over the last few months to rebuild that trust. And, obviously I'll be meeting Scott Bessent this week. I'm in Washington. But I've also this week met the French, the German, the Spanish, the Polish, the Swedish, the Finnish finance ministers, because it is so important that we rebuild those trading relationships with our nearest neighbours in Europe. And we're going to do that in a way that is good for British jobs and British consumers.